Welcome to the online English class. As usual, I am Muhammad Mahmud Hassan, lecturer in English, Rani Bhavani Government Women's College, Natur. Here are some contact details of me. You can contact with me through this mobile number, and you can mail me to by the email ID I have displayed here. So my dear student, let's start our class today. Today's topic of discussion is appropriate preposition. So our learning outcome is appropriate preposition. My dear students, actually I started the discussion of preposition in my previous classes. This is basically the continuation of the class, and for your better understanding or learning, I am continuing this class. Already I have said the specific words are used with some prepositions. Actually, the usage of preposition is diverse and idiomatic, and the specific words needs some specific preposition, and this is called appropriate preposition. The specific words requires some specific prepositions that some nouns, adjectives and verbs demand. Specific preposition is called appropriate prepositions. Here is a list of appropriate preposition with examples. It will help you understand what the uses of preposition is. Actually, it is a diverse list. For your better understanding, I have summarized this lists here in this class. I will pick some important prepositions from this list, and you please at your home study a lot regarding this appropriate preposition. It is better if you memorize this and if you practice regularly prepositions, or if you study literature or English textbooks or any other books, your skills regarding preposition will be enhanced undoubtedly. So if you're in this page, aware of, aim at, annoyed with, access to, accused of, approve of, adhere to, admit of, affix to or on, afraid of, allot to, amazed at, ambition for, ambition of, anxious about, anxious for, apologize to, appetite for, apply to, appraised of, aptitude for, aspiration for or after, assent to. These are some important appropriate preposition. Like aware of, people should be aware of their right. Adhere to, we should adhere to our strategy. Amazed at, we are amazed at his manners. Anxious for, I am anxious for the reward. Aspiration for, the boy has no aspiration for or after recess. So these are actually the best appropriate comes after these words. We must memorize this, and if we practice lot, actually it will be in our head, it will be in our mind whenever we will alright, it will come automatically. The best way to memorize it or practice a lot. Likewise, these are some other appropriate examples. Compare with, compare to, congenial to, condole with, confident of, congratulate on, consist of, consist in, consistent with, contact with, contemporary of, contrary to, control of or over, conversant with, converted to, converted into, convict of, conducive to, contempt for, confined to, cope with, charge against, charged with, contribution to, contribute to. Actually, these are also some best appropriate examples. Here, compare with. Himail is often compared with Lija. Contemporary of. Tajuddin Ahmed was contemporary of Sheikh Mujib. Convict of. He was convict of trick. Charged with. The chairman was charged with corruption. Contribute to. Zahanara Imam has contributed a lot to our women education. Here are some appropriate prepositions displayed. Decide upon, decide against, meditate to, defer to, delight in, delighted at, deliver to, deprive of, deal in, deal with, demand on, dependent on, desist from, dislike to, dispense with, dispose of, dissent from, distrust of, devote to, dividend of, differ from, different from. Decide upon. They have not decided upon their plans. Delighted at. My friends are delighted at my results. Deal in. Deal in is used in business, something. His brother deals in jute, business. Deal with, behavior or treatment. His father deals with Mr. Hannan. Dependent on. Our economy is dependent on industry. Distrust of. They have no distrust of him. Different from. They are different from us. Here are some appropriate prepositions. Emphasize on, entrust. Escape from, essential to, excel in, exempt from, exposed to, famous for, faithful to, favorable for, fruitful in, fruitless of, fond of, fondness for, foreign to, familiar with. So my dear students, in the first case, emphasize on, the principal gave emphasis on his opinion. Escape from, there is no escape from death. Essential to, hard work is essential to achievement. Exempt from, the students are exempted from fine. Faithful to, the dog is faithful to its master. favorable for. The situation is favorable for attack. Familiar with. My father is very familiar with Arabic. Glory in. Good at, grateful to, guilty of, guard against, guard from, against, hang to, on, from, hanker after, hear of, hear about, hesitate at, hint at, hostile to, identical with, ignorant of, immaterial to, immune from or against or to, impute to, impose upon, impute to, indicted to, indulge in, infer from, innocent of, inquire for, insist upon, intent on, involved in, indifferent to, influence on, indifferent to. Himmel is indifferent to our activities. Good at, he is good at mathematics. That means he is skilled at or efficient at mathematics. Grateful to, you should be grateful to him. Hostile to, no one should be hostile to such a plan. Immune from, we are not immune from any attack from the enemy. Insist on, I am intent on doing that. Insist upon, Himmel insisted upon my going there. My dear student, these are some important appropriate prepositions. Zealous of, just at, judged by, kind to, kindness to, known to, lack of, laugh at, level on, linking for, love in, long for or after, loyal to, marry to, match for, match with, met with, mourn for, natural to, necessary for, to, object to, occur to, open to, oppose to, opposite to, opposition to. Zealous of, Schaefer is jealous of my success. Judge by, we should not judge a thing only by appearance. Looking for, the girl has a liking for, the girl has a liking for me. Long for, who does not long for happiness. Natural to, this behavior is natural to him. Mourn for, the people mourn for their great hero. Opposition to, there is no opposition to the bill. Here are some important appropriate preposition regarding the word starts with the alphabet P. Protect of, particular about, peculiar to, permit of, pity for, play on, play with, please do it, point out, point at, point to, popular with, preside over, preside at, prevent from, prior to, profit by, prefer to, preference for, protest against, prejudice against, pretext for, pride in, proficient in. Peculiar to, this type of dress is peculiar to leisure. Pleased with, the principal is pleased with the students. Point at, Himmel pointed his gun at the bird. Himmel is popular with the students for his sense of humor. Himmel presided over the meeting. Prior to, her proposal was placed prior to yours. Proficient in. Iftar is proficient in. Ifat is proficient in English. Qualified for, quick at, quick of, reason with, pity for, play on, play with, pleased with, recover from, refer to, regard for, relevant to, relieved from, rely on, remarkable for, remind of, reply to, respect for, respectful to, respond to, rest with a person, rest upon something, reward with, rebel against, related to, result from, rid of, rivalry with, rob of. My dear students, qualified for. Shefa is qualified for the post. Quick at. Ibnul is very quick at mathematics. Pleased with. The principal is pleased with the students. Refer to. The statement does not refer to you. Respectful to. We all should be respectful to our teachers. Rivalry with. They have no rivalry with him. Rob of. The mugger robbed me of my possessions. Sanguine of, satisfied with, search for, sentence to, shame at, or for, short of, shrink from, side with, smile upon, snatch at, stare at, strange to, submit to, sufficient for, suffer from, suffer for, suitable for or to, supplement to, sure of, surprised at, suspect of, suspicious for, shocked at, similar to. Sanguine of. They are sanguine of success. Satisfied with. Roy is satisfied with the boy. Sentenced to. John Dryden was sentenced to death for murder. Submit to. At last the protesters submitted to the president. Suffer for. We must suffer for our misdeeds. Surprised at. We all are surprised at her performance. Similar to. Your idea is similar to mine. Test for. Thankful to. Tell on or upon. Tide over. Tolerant of. Tremble with. True to. Think of. Unequal to. Unite with. Urge upon. Useful to. Vain or versed in. Vest with. Victim of. Victim to. Void of. Wait upon. Want for. Wanting in. Wish for. Wonder at. Worthy of. Yield to. Just for. Jealous for. Dear students, taste for. Female has no taste for music. Tell upon. Smoking tells upon our health. Urge upon. We urged the issue upon his request. Victim to. The driver falls in a victim to avarice. Wish for. They do not wish for riches. Worthy of. Her speech is worthy of praise. Yield to. They must yield to reason. Jealous for. He was very much jealous for doing the works. Actually, appropriate prepositions are very important issues in English language, and there are some words which basically requires some particular preposition, and we cannot use any preposition as we wish, and this is why we call it appropriate preposition. Lots of appropriate prepositions are available, but amongst all, from all those preposition, I have selected from A to Z, and these are basically the important appropriate preposition. And if you try all the appropriate preposition I have discussed today at your home, I think in your exam paper or in your job examination, you will get the questions from all these appropriate prepositions I have discussed today. So in my previous classes, I have also said being efficient or to be efficient in appropriate preposition or preposition, there is no other way. We have to study lot, we have to study literature or any other textbooks, and it's better to memorize appropriate preposition, and by this way we will make ourselves ready or prepared for the exams regarding prepositions. So thank you very much, and thank you for your patience, my dear students. My earnest suggestions to all of you is that please stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much.